Hi everybody, welcome to Ocean Intuitive Tarot. Today we are going to see your past, your present and your future. So we will have 3 piles: butterfly, epiphany and coins. You will have the timestamps down below. Choose the pile that you're most drawn to and we'll see each other in a moment. Welcome pile number 1. So let's see your past. Let's see your past. Pile number 1. Past of pile number 1. The Chariot in reverse. Pile number 1 past. Let's see. Three of Earth. What a beautiful card to have. The power of creativity. Let's see the past of pile number 1. Contentment. 4 of Fire. Okay. Let's see past of my pile number 1. Past. Oh, okay. Let's accept this. Beautiful. Put this here. Past of my pile number 1. Past of my pile number 1. My dear pile number 1, so what I see here about your past is that you had a place in life where you were very creative. You were so much happy with what you had. You had contentment, peace, abundance, a happy home life. It was like a dream coming true, and at the same time you felt free. I don't see many worries here. I can see that actually you didn't have much worries. You were looking up for your dreams. You seemed to be in a creative space. Maybe you were having also recognition for your work. I can see that your dreams were flowing here, and even perhaps your emotional state was also flowing very well. Though there was something that you were hoping to have, but you didn't. And it might have to do with some movement that you had to take somewhere that for some reason you chose not to, or you dreamt about it, but you didn't take the move. but if you look at the Chariot, is upside down, and it might be that the move that you have to take would take more self-discipline of you, and you wanted more freedom in your life. So you chose your freedom, you chose the creativity, and you chose the peace of what you were getting, to be like that, to be carefree, to have that kind of dream of happiness. But at the same time, there was something there that you thought maybe you could have even more public recognition if you would take this step, but you chose not to do that in the past. You chose not to do that in the past. So yeah, let's see, why is this appearing here? Now let's take a look at your present. Present of my dear pile number 1. Interesting. Now, present of my dear pile number 1. Present of my, wow, this is okay. So we have the Sacerdotes, the Sun, 3 of Swords, and 3 of Wands. Okay, I can see something here in the present. So, present of my pile number 1. 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 Just one more card. 2 of air. Put this here perhaps. Okay. So we have the Sacerdotes, the Sun, 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands, the Chariot, the 2 of Air in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse. Sorry if you can hear the dogs. And you have the 4 of Swords, but I saw 3 of Swords. Interesting. So, and you have the 9 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So my dear, what I see here is that in the present There was a lesson being learned here, unfortunately. Though we saw all that happiness that you really wanted to achieve, and you were in that state before. There was something that you decided to take a close look to, and you decided to observe things in a different manner. But at the same time, the happiness in the present, especially emotionally. Before we saw a lot of creative energy, easygoing energy, not having too much responsibilities. But in the present, I can see here a heartbreak. And that heartbreak, unfortunately, did not lead you into the meditation that you could have done here. And you felt like the world stopped. So in the present, you are feeling that, like, actually, you are feeling like the world is stopped here. And you cannot, it's like you cannot move and go deep inside the situation. Even perhaps you were having troubles communicating. Maybe it was such a heartbreak that it's not yet the time to communicate. And because you're not feeling that is the time to say anything, because you didn't even process everything that really happened here. I'm so sorry about this. I'm so sorry to see this situation here. But you really want to take the step and to try new things. But this, let's say, immature energy that caused you this heartbreak, it might also be that someone didn't answer to you somehow. It can also be that you are not being able to communicate what you're feeling because you're not in that phase yet of communicating of your feeling. I think you still need to do more introspection. And I feel that though you were wanting to take the pace, it's being hard, it's being very difficult for you. And right now it's just like, I need some time here. You're thinking. Your way is not easy, and you know that. But I can see here that you have something inside of you that say, yes, I need to do this, and I really need to take here a step towards my cure, self-cure of this big disappointment that happened here because of an immature situation of someone. I can see here that you, if you're not in this energy already of taking the step, you will be pretty soon. Because at the same time I see here a lot of stuck energy, you wanting but not being able, perhaps even because it was so much shocking for you that you're not accessing all the information yet. But you will. And it might even start today, or because you're hearing this reading, it's also a sign that you're starting to access what is really there deep inside of you. And that hurt needs to be seen so that you can cure it. That's important to do, and it's also important to do that before taking any step. So if it's not the phase for you to communicate, for sure you need to respect that and access first whatever caused you such a traumatic experience even. And if this is the case, that is you that is not able to talk, the energy that is coming off the person who did this is also very immature. The person who caused this vibration, the energy is really immature. So you know that first you need to take the step to go inwards and to understand, to really understand how you were feeling. That is the process here. So this heartbreak really messed your energy, your abundant energy that you were having before. So let's take a look at the future. The future for my pile number 1. 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 Okay, we have the Justice, we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Future for my pile number 1, I feel this one. 9 of Swords. Now future for my pile number 1. The Page of Swords. Future for my pile number 1. Let me choose another pile. Future for my pile number 1. Future for my pile number 1. 6 of Water. Future for my pile number 1. Future for my pile number 1. Oh, what's this one doing here? 10 of Earth. Future for my pile number 1. Oh, let's see. King of Water and 8 of Water. And let me just take another card here to clarify. 10 of Earth. You have King of Air. Okay, I see the message. My dear pile number 1, what I see here is someone trying to balance their lives. After this heartbreak that you are going through, I can see here that you will try, like we saw before already, the desire to start moving. You will try to bring some justice to the situation. And you will try to balance things. Look how the sacerdotess is looking to the justice. She knows. This is your inner knowing. She knows that this will need to happen. Though right now you're still not accessing all the information, bringing balance to your life again, she has the inner knowing. You have the inner knowing already. And in the future, you will be moving to this action. It will not be easy, my dears. It will not be easy. You will feel that probably there will be some discussions, some arguments. Probably there will be some conflict even, but you will need to react. The important message here is the need to react. At the same time that you will have probably some discussions with someone, wanting to balance your life, even wanting to bring some justice to the situation, talking with the person and clarifying things like you were not being able before, saying what you really have to say, even if you are shaking, but saying what you really want. And being respected, because probably before you didn't feel that you were respected in this situation. I can see here that things, you are going to be doing this for sure, but you are going to start having memories of the past, and perhaps how beautiful and carefree it was before. Even probably this situation will bring you memories from childhood, from some patterns in your family. It can remind you something, unfortunately. And that's why even all of this process is even more difficult for you in the future to do. Can also be that you start understanding that these patterns, old patterns, are not letting you to speak your mind with confidence. Something is really here disturbing your self-respect. And we saw before that right now it's like you're not accessing things, you're not being able to talk even, but you are going to do that, my dears, you're going to do that. And I can see you talking finally and bringing justice to this situation, wanting to do that. And I can see here especially that in the future, and this is very good news if something is not good for you, you are going to be searching for something more meaningful in your life. You will have the desire to move. when you have the desire, that is already a big step, a big step. Because sometimes what is difficult is understanding that you have that desire, is to get to the desire point. Because sometimes we are stuck remembering the good things, is like the bad things are gone. But no, you are going to be here very conscious of the bad things, and perhaps even going deeper in the future, even going deeper in a research to bring balance to your life, even understanding some memories that you had before, and you will bring the desire to move on, and you will do it in the future. And I believe this future is not far away, is not far away. So let me give you here some advices for my dear group number 1. Advices for my dear group number 1. The crowd. The rhino. Break through any obstacle. Bring change to your life, like the number 5. Go in front to your objectives, your purpose. Do not doubt. He has a crown here. He has a beautiful crown here. And this is really in front, meaning the purpose, the objective. It's like fearless. It's an image that is completely fearless, ready to grow and break through any obstacle in the life. An advice for my dear group number 1. Sorry, this is the wasp. The wasp, I think you say it like that. So the advice I see for you, my dear group number 1, is it's not time to idealize things. It's time to really see things how they are, and go without fear. Just decide that you need to move to bring balance to your life, and don't be afraid. Trust. Trust in the facts that you have around you already. Is not something imaginary. Is something that you already have. It's factual. Trust in that. Trust that if you move away from this situation that is causing you so much pain, you will have the security that you need. It's interesting how the green grows here, and it comes from a very happy family to break through any obstacle. Like it's growing the green into this, like an objective, like a purpose that you have. you were not for sure, though you wanted, and you were romanticizing something about the past, even about this relationship in the past. Something was not bringing you emotional consideration. Now you have, in the future, you have the facts. You are going to be strong to break through any obstacle, and you are not going to be afraid, because you know that you're strong enough to go through this. Thank you so much for being here, my dear group number 1. I hope you resonate with this reading, and if you did, please press like, subscribe, and we will see each other next reading. Thank you so much for being here. My dear group number 2, thank you so much for being here. So let's see first about your past. The past for my dear group number 2. Past for my dear group number 2. Past. Oh, okay. We'll take all of them. Past for my dear group number 2. Past for my dear group number 2. Past for my dear group number 2. Okay, I understand. Makes sense. Past for my dear group number 2. I'll take the first one. Past for my dear group number 2. I feel this one. And past for my dear group number 2. Wow. Okay. So the past for my group number 2. So what I can see here is that you had the moon here. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. For some reason, something was like not being shown to you. It might be that you were not in contact with your spiritual side before. There was a kind of a block. Something was not being shown to you. Perhaps about a dear friend you were not seeing. You were not seeing something that was happening in your back. It can also be about an emotional situation that was not being shown to you. Someone perhaps wanting to say someone but not being able to say something. And then here the Page of Water confirms that you were not being able to see something. something was not being shown to you, and it was something really big actually that was under covered and you were not seeing. What was this? But somehow it came to your awareness. Maybe somebody told you something that you couldn't see. You made some research about something and suddenly you came across some information. Whatever it was, you acted very, very firmly about it in the past, with a confident energy, warm and intelligent. And you decided to move in a new direction. This could be about a friend. This could be about a lover. But you did assert your independence and your creativity, and you decided, okay, I have the full picture now. I was not seeing before, but I can see here. I have the power of the water now. I can see under the water because she's with this card, renewal. She's on top of water and she has the color of the number 7, which is the spirituality, and also represented by water, by the ocean, by the moon. And she knows right now. And even this, the card says that you have the full assessment of facts now. So right now you have the big picture here. And you decided to move from whatever you're not seeing, that it was big. It was big. Big and I believe not nice. And you decided that I see things now and I need to end this situation. And you decided to make things move. And you ended this situation, you embraced change, and you recovered from what happened here. And you saw now the right path. You made positive plans for you. You got away from whatever happened here and you started a new path. This can also be about an information that you had, like I said before. Somebody gave you an information that you couldn't see, and you acted in a very confident way. And you didn't underestimate yourself. You asserted yourself because you had the facts, whatever happened. So let's see about your present. Sorry, let me see the card. We have 2 cards. We have the Page of Page of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, have the Emperor. The Justice in reverse. The present for my dear group number 1. Queen of Air. Present for my D group number 1. Interesting. Present for my D group number 1. So the present, my dear, is that probably you received a new work opportunity. It might be the situation, something that is starting fresh for you. It might be that you have something starting for yourself, something new. It might be that that gave you some stability, monetary stability, but perhaps, or is giving, because this is about the present, is giving you some stability, sorry, is giving you some stability, but something to be aware here in the present is that it's good to see if you're not being stagnant somehow, just because things are comfortable at the moment. So I can see someone here that is really wanting some stability, really wanting some stability in their lives. But though we saw that you ended the situation before, I can see here that is still there. It's still like you. It's like you're still feeling that there was no justice in whatever happened before. But you know that you have your guardian angels looking up for you, and you have a good energy. You're honorable, you're kind, you're wanting to achieve your objectives. And though this is still there in the back of your mind, you want to clear away what no longer serves you. So I can still see your strong character. Of course it's there. It was not a fair situation, but you are strong. I can see that you are strong. You're going to get what you want in an independent way. So you're looking in front. This is in the back of your mind, but you want to be independent. You want to concretize your objectives. You want to clear away that past behind. You're looking in front. You are wanting to forget this. Your group was epiphany. Something like suddenly you came to realize. And I believe that this is talking about your past. Now let's see about your future, my group pile number 2. The Emperor in reverse, my dear pile number 2. Let's see about the future of my dear pile number 2. Four of Water. Let's see about the future of my dear pile number 2. King of Water. Let's see about the future of my dear pile number 2. The High Priestess. In reverse. Let's see the future for my pile number 2. Defend your beliefs. Seven of Fire. The future for my pile number 2. The future, Ace of Water. The future for my pile number 2. Page of Fire. And the future for my pile number 2. This one. So, my dear, what I see this here is that something that what happened to you in the past really left you closed off, I believe, and not wanting to open to new opportunities in your life. But I believe that you are going to start opening your heart to those around you. And you are at the same time being able to defend your beliefs, because perhaps you are afraid that if you open your heart again, you're not going to be able to defend what you conquered after all of that disappointment that you had. But you are going to try to balance things again. And I believe that someone will appear in your life again. Now, here, I believe that is a new relationship. I said again, but I believe this one is a new relationship because of the Page of Fire. news of an exciting new endeavor. So I believe this is a new person. You will see. And then you have the High Priestess in reverse. I believe that what is going to happen here is that you will need you will feel the need of really getting to know this person because of what happened before. Now you will feel the need to have a new approach to this relationship. Now, perhaps you're not going to be celebrating this too much because of fears, or because you're not feeling the connection right away. But someone is going to appear in your life. Just be aware that you are having the full picture here of the situation. And if this is the same person of the past, be aware and see if right now you are having the full picture, because you might not have the full picture if this is the old person. If this is a new person, it's normal that you don't have the full picture because you're getting to know that person. And actually things are much more serious. You're acting, instead of being all joyful and celebrating already, no. You are going slow and not celebrating, already, but waiting to see what is really there. Because whoever is this person, at the beginning you're not going to see the full picture. Might be because you decide to take this serious and to go step by step. It might be because you will need to research more about the intentions of this new person. And if you go slowly and getting to know the other person, the answers are going to appear. Because you will see, if you take time to see, you will see things. So it might be something that appears, but it might be something that you will take a different approach and decide that you need, instead of having fun with this, you decide to really take your time in a more serious way, because it might be something that you're not knowing about that person, which is normal when you are starting to know someone. If it's someone that returns from the past here, be aware that you might not be seeing the full picture again. So this is what I have for you, my dear group number 2. If you resonated with this, please press like, subscribe, and comment down below if this resonated with you. Let me know. Okay, so see you next time. Hi, my dear group number 3. Welcome to this reading. We're going to see about your past, your present, and your future. So let's start. How was the past of my dear group number 3? Okay. So how was the past of my dear group number 3? How was the past of my dear group number 3? How was the past of my dear group number 3? So let's see. How was the past of my dear group number 3? How was the past of my dear group number 3? How was the past of my dear group number 3? How was the past of my dear group number 3? How was the past of my dear group number 3? Sorry, trying to see which one I feel here. I use this one. Okay, so my dear group number 3. My dear group number 3, maybe in the past you were bound to something here that was not letting you manifest how you could be manifesting in your life. It might be even like a contract in a company or something that was not letting you manifest how you could be manifesting. And perhaps you start thinking that you were stuck somehow, and isolated can also be. But at the same time, seeing this situation perfectly, you were understanding that something was not letting you manifest material things. I believe that this, and your card was coins, I believe that this was manifesting abundance in your life in a material sense. And you really had to fight for having some freedom here of this situation. And at one point it was just too much work, and even perhaps you had some stress related work. and or the situation that you were bound was also giving you, though you could not manifest completely everything in your life, was giving you some stability. But perhaps you had some arguments in that, or it was a stressful work situation. But it was bringing you the material needs that you had the need to. But for some reason you also felt that there was something that you wanted to do or to manifest that was not being manifested here in this situation in the past. So I believe that you started to take action towards creative solutions and reviewing more options here. Understanding how much this situation, this job perhaps, was also not letting you expand how you could be expanding in your life, and bringing you discussions, arguments, and stress-related health concerns here. You were seeing this perfectly. It's not like you were not seeing this situation happening. You were seeing it. You were seeing this situation happening. So let's see about your present. Present for my dear group number 3. Okay, looking good. 6 of fire. Present for my dear group number 3. 4 of water in reverse. Present for my dear group number 3. King of Earth in reverse. Present for my dear group number 3. Four of Earth. Present for my dear group number 3. This one. 4 of Air. And present for my dear group number 3. This one. The Empress. Okay, so what I see here is that when you decided that you needed creative solutions to whatever was keeping you stuck right now, you feel that you are having the energy, the abundance, and you feel that you're giving birth to your dreams. Now, at the same time, it might be that you are caring a lot about your financial matters, and that an opportunity, perhaps something or someone that was offering you something emotionally, you did not accept this, or you were not aware of this. And or you didn't accept even this offer that was being given to you. Probably you decided that right now you are not in that vibration, or you are not in that vibration, and you are deciding that this is not the right time. At the same time, be careful that see, and yes, take the time that you need to meditate if you really want this or not, and be careful if you're not thinking too much about your financial matters, that you will lose an opportunity here. So just meditate about this situation in the present, or you are meditating, you are taking the time to consider this offer that is being given to you. So it's there, the offer is there. The offer is there, my dear pile. It's not gone. So it's not that you missed the opportunity. It's there, but you're taking your time. This is what I'm seeing. You're taking your time to meditate on it and to see if this is something that you want to your life. At the same time, it seems to me that you're more concerned with your financial situations at the moment, bringing abundance to your life. But something is being offered to you here. Six of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Three of Wands in reverse, and the King of Swords. This can also be talking about an opportunity. Can also be talking, not, you don't have to be an emotional offer here. Can also be talking about an opportunity that you're not sure because you think that it's not going to bring you the abundance that you would like to receive. It might be an offer, even a proposal, or you received a communication about a business, but you think that is not going to be as successful that this person would like you to convince, and you're taking your time to decide. And all right, so let's see. Pile number 3, future. Pile number 3, future of my dear pile number 3. Future of my dear pile number 3. So we have the Lovers, Future of my dear pile number 3. We have the Page of Wands. Actually, this is the Knight of Wands. You have the Ace of Wands in reverse. You have the Tower. You have the Lovers in reverse here on top of the Tower. Eight of Earth. Knight of Fire, Knight of Fire, Nine of Wands, Knight of Wands, Knight of Fire. Interesting. And we have balance, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. It's very interesting how this Knight is rushing into the Lovers, and Lovers also represents a choice, and this Knight is rushing into the Eight of Earth. Now, again, what I see here is some new opportunity rushing into your life. It might be someone that is full of ideas, capable of fighting for their purpose, with the impulse for new discoverings. It's like whoever comes here giving you, offering you something, it's like wanting to conquer everything. It might also mean that this Knight represents change into your life, or a possibility of change that you will have to choose. But in the future, I believe that you will choose to wait for perfect timing, and instead you are going to think things very carefully and probably learning all that you have to learn about this offer that you were giving and that you had to choose. It might be that this that was given for you to choose is actually not giving you so much enthusiasm. And you don't see potential, so much potential in this. You take the time that you need, but you are not going to see potential in this situation that is being offered to you. And I believe that instead of choosing, because you're going, though you already know, you feel that something here might not work, and you study a lot about the topic, you take your time, and things are going to eventually fall like you suspected. And you are going to see that and perhaps not even need to say anything, because things are going to fall for themselves. Now, this can be a creative matter. This can also be someone that rushes into your life with a lot of passion, but that you see that, yeah, it seems a lot of passion here, but it's very suddenly, and it seems that something is not really grounded here, and the wand is not valuing everything that this person is making believe, and actually is something that it might crush pretty soon. You suspect that, and that's why you decide instead to think things carefully. This is coming from the other direction, coming from balance here, a balanced state. And it seems that you don't even need to choose, that the things are going to even go away for themselves. So let me see here, just one card. Yeah, like you will be deciding in your future, is that in the middle is the virtue. You will be very carefully deciding about this. Whatever is coming, rushing into your life, you see that it might not have the potential that it seems. And you are going to wait in a balanced way and wait for the perfect timing. Think things carefully, learning a lot about the topic, and you will not even need to take the decision, because whatever it is going to be decided by itself. It can be a creative project, a cooperation that is being offered to you. It can also be a love, a passion, more passion situation, something more physical, perhaps. Yeah, you will be focusing in balance, in your own balance, and you will act like a leader. You will suspect that something here might be shaking, and you will be acting like a leader, like a king, while this person is rushing here like a knight. Yeah, and in the end you're going to learn from the situation, and you're going to be reviewing everything and seeing how this was having a very shaking ground. Yeah, and you're going to be finding the magic in the little things in your life. I don't see you very worried about this. It seems that it's not going to be a big surprise for you. It seems like you were already feeling that something was shaking here. You decided not to rush. You will be deciding not to rush into any decision. You will have a balance. You will be balancing the situation, things with time, learning about this, and things are going to be resolved by themselves. So this is what I have for you, my dear pile number 3. If you did resonate it, please press like, subscribe, and we'll see each other next time. Thank you.